Hi, this is Avit Bansal. I'm an author and a life coach in the art of conscious living. I have made myself available here with just one simple intention to spread the right awareness about the phenomena of life, what many people today call as manifestation. There's something today I want to share with you, something very personal, because while we are talking about the 3D delay, I'm just now reminded of one of my very first experiences with manifestation. An experience so small on the outside, yet so life changing on the inside for me, because it forever changed the way I looked at this world. So, when I first discovered Neville Goddard, I was exactly like you, curious, and I was pretty much hopeful, and honestly, I was a little bit doubtful. And there was a part of me that always wondered, is this thing real? Or is this just all imagination? And is there really a power inside of me called I am, or is just life controlled by something outside of me? And then one day I just simply decided I'm going to test it. And when I say I test it, I really mean to really test it, because Neville said, if you test it, go all in. Do not be double minded about it. So I made a decision that day. I will test this with full faith, no hesitation, no second thought, and completely all in. At that time, I was working in corporate. It was a sales industry, and I was just 1 to 2 weeks into the job. And like every new person at that particular time, I was behind my target. And everyone who has worked in corporate knows they will take either your money or your time, or sometimes both. And I was behind the target. And I was told to come on the Saturday, a day that was officially supposed to be my off. And that Friday night, I said to myself, this is it. This is where I will test Neville, because I really do not want to go to corporate office or my office on Saturday. So it was completely new for me, but I tried. I rested like Saturday was my a holiday time. So it was Friday evening, but I slept and I rested my Friday evening. Like tomorrow is my off. I watched something relaxing. I enjoyed myself as if tomorrow I really do not have office. And my mind was wandering like crazy. Doubts were coming here and there. What if it doesn't work? What if I get into the trouble? Right, I was just pretending. What if this just is just my imagination that I'm thinking about? But then I remembered I have to completely go all in. So I persisted and I returned to the assumption again and again. And I persisted in that assumption while I was resting on Friday evening that tomorrow is my off. So I pulled my back again and again to the feeling of having Saturday off. And here's where it gets interesting. Something happened which has never happened before, and which is usually not considered to be very good ethic in the office. Around 11 p.m. on the Friday evening, it was late night, 11 p.m. My immediate boss, a very young lady, younger than me, she texted me for the very first time, and she said, I was confused by looking at the text. It's 11 p.m. and the boss has never texted me this late. So here's the client list, she said. Like, here's the client list. Call this particular customer. This particular customer has become active suddenly. Just call him now. And at 11 p.m., I was just calling the customer. And it was completely strange, but I followed the flow. And then I spoke to the customer for the next 30 minutes, and he agreed to buy the product. But he agreed to buy the product, but he didn't make the payment. And trust me, a part of me wanted to message him again and again, push him, just to remind him, please complete the payment. Because that was my only chance to complete my target and secure my Saturday off. But then Neville's word echoed in my mind. I just remembered. He said, you do not have to lift a finger. So I just stopped myself. I didn't remind the customer. I didn't chase. I didn't interfere. And I just slept like tomorrow is my off. Without thinking anything else, I just slept. So Saturday morning, it was 10 a.m. I was supposed to be at the office physically at 10 a.m. But what I was doing, I was sleeping on my bed in the assumption that today is my off. And for the most people, it would be called as a foolish move, very irresponsible and risky move. But I persisted. Then at 10, just 30 minutes after that, at 10:30, my phone buzzed and the customer had made the full payment and he was sharing the screenshot. And just like that, my target was completed and the Saturday was officially off. And I was laying there in the bed, smiling on the bed in disbelief, realizing something that changed my complete life. My imaginal act caused the outer event, not the other way around. This was just a small incident. This small incident became the very foundation of how I see the world today. And the reason I am telling you this is very simple. It is very simple. Your only job is to be the person who already has the desire, and that's it. Beyond that, you have no control whatsoever, none. And when I say no control, I mean this. The only free will you have is the freedom to choose your state, to choose your assumption. Everything else, every bridge of incidents, every delay, every moment, every person involved in this event is not your job. Now listen to me very carefully. There's a very fine trap that almost everyone falls into. So I have heard this multiple times when I read the online community posts, wherever I go. When people say, this is how they say it, I know I have it in imagination. I know it's done in my 4D. That's what people call as imagination. But 3D is just delayed. So what you are actually saying is, I don't have it now. Because the moment you separate the 3D and the 4D, you create a distance, a gap, a waiting room. And in that exact moment, you leave the state, you focus on lack, and you declare, I'm not here yet. That tiny moment is where most manifestation collapse. So today I want you to understand one thing. Stop thinking of 4D versus 3D. Stop making this comparison. Stop thinking of delays. Stop thinking of waiting. Your only job is to become the person who has it. And the moment you start focusing upon 3D versus 4D, it defeats the very purpose. Because you're not waiting for your manifestation. Your manifestation is waiting for you to finally stop being double-minded. And remember this, you don't manifest by controlling the world. You manifest by controlling your inner state. And once you hold the state, the outer world will move in the most strangest, most unexpected and most effortless way. And just like it did for me for the very first time. And it still happens to me this particular way. And just to give you some assurance, but before that I will soon, probably in the next upcoming video, I'll be talking about a success story which is related to me, which is quite big in my life. I'll be sharing that success story which has, I believe, a couple of days back to me in the next upcoming video. So coming back to this video, I would like to give you some assurance because I understand our states are playing currently in life. Right now our states are playing that we held on to in our past. Situations might be tough, I understand, but you can change it. It's all within you. There's one thing most people miss about Neville's lecture is this: expected pregnancy. You can focus upon this concept of expected pregnancy that might help you in maintaining the state that you want, that might help you wrapping around the concept around your head, like the 3D delay. It might help you survive that 3D delay phase. So Neville Goddard used a very beautiful phrase, expected pregnancy. And if you understand this one phrase deeply, you will understand the entire art of manifestation and you will be able to maintain that 3D delay, so-called 3D delay. So let me explain it to you in the very simplest and most powerful way possible. So when a woman becomes pregnant, and from the very first day, she cannot see the baby. And there's no physical proof of it. Nothing has appeared in the 3D world. But does she doubt? Does she wake up every morning, why I can see the baby yet? What if the baby doesn't come? What if something goes wrong? No, she expects. She expects, she knows, she lives from the assurance that the baby is already a fact, waiting to be delivered in this world. Even before the world sees it, she prepares the room, she buys the clothes, she changes her lifestyle, she begins acting like a mother. Because the inner knowing is stronger than the outer evidence. And this is what Neville meant by when he said manifestation is an expected pregnancy. So, once the assumption is planted, even if nothing in your 3D has changed, you must become like a mother who already knows that the child is coming. It's a fact. You don't check every hour, you don't panic, you don't beg, you don't doubt, you simply expect. Because the moment conception happens within you, through imagination, through your assumption, through living in the end, the outer world is no longer your concern. You do not ask how, you do not ask when, you do not ask who will make it happen. You simply allow the promise to mature. Just like a pregnancy, there is always a gestation period. A sacred unfolding you cannot rush, you cannot track, you cannot control. But here's what matters. A pregnant woman does not say the baby is coming someday. She says the baby is coming. Not maybe, not hopefully, not if everything goes well. Just a calm, gentle, unshakable knowing. And this is the consciousness Neville wanted you to live in. The knowing that once imagined, it is done. Once felt, it is fact. Once conceived, it must be born. Your desire is not outside of you, it is already alive within you, growing quietly, developing invisibly, moving towards the visibility of your fact. Be that mother. You need to expect the outcome. Your conception is coming into the world. Now coming to the practical side of 2026 Reality Architect series, which is a guided series to manifest your desired life in 2026. And when you go to day 8, it says handling the silence, the 3D delay. The space is very clean. So during this delay, if you face in your life, or whenever you feel off and worried, come back to this and write your heart out. It is the phase where you need to have faith. Faith where? Faith in yourself only. That you are already the person which you desire to be. Faith is the element, necessary and integral element to any kind of manifestation. So use this space. Whenever there is a delay, whenever you feel delay, just remember, expect like a mother. So use this page and just try to write it down. Don't write about lag. This space is clean and just given to you to use as an SOS page. So whenever you feel that you are worried about your manifestation or your desire, come back to this page and start writing about your life as the person who you desire to be. You don't have to write it daily. Only write when you are afraid, maybe worried. Go back to the state of being a mother who expects. So once you carry out an imaginal act and you feel that you have completely felt it, then expect your manifestation like a mother expects a child.